Howdy, folks. This is Ted Lasso, your favorite optimistic American football coach turned English football coach. And welcome to the Richmond Way, a Ted Lasso REWATCH podcast. So grab your biscuits, put on your AFC Richmond scarf, and let's embark on this journey together.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Richmond Way. This
Hello.
is going to... Hello.
Hi.
You may see my name on the screen saying Marc, but actually I'm awkward. So with me, as per always and per usual, are, if you are listening to this in an audio medium, this part doesn't matter, but somewhere on the screen are Bonnie Marie Williams, the voice of our superhero.
Hello.
And Michael J. Soren, the time-traveling sandwich enthusiast.
I'm not here.
Who loves Christmas music. It's his favorite. It's his
All
favorite
time.
thing. But anyways, yes, so we, in our last episode, finished season 1 with the hope that kills you. I don't know. It's the memory
That
that's
is the
killing
name.
me. But how
The hope of the
would
season 4 will kill you.
yeah, Nick Muhammad keeps teasing us with it. The guy. Anyways, so how are you guys feeling at the end of our season 1 rewatch, as we're not quite to season 2 yet?
It's weird to think it's over. Like we've gone through season 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a weird thought. And then I keep going, oh no, I know what's gonna happen to Nate. And I don't want to go through that again. So I'm like dreading going through that journey again.
Speaking of Nick Muhammad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought there was more in the season. I didn't realize when it ended. Like I thought there was something more we missed. Like within season 1, I thought there was like another episode that just wasn't there. Like I knew where it ended, and I thought there was something before that.
Yeah, this is the shortest season because season 2 and season 3 will have the 12 episodes each. But yeah, this wasn't the only one.
And then season 3, everything's 3 hours long.
Hell yeah. So it'll be like, that is season 4. It's season 3 and season 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically. But I enjoy it. And then I think in between I think in the middle of season 2, there's that little claymation short that they did too, where Ted loses his mustache. So we'll have to talk about that somewhere. We'll figure out when that got released in conjunction with the others. Probably just talk about it in conjunction with like Carol the Bells.
Conjunction junction.
What's your function?
What's your function?
Spitting out rhymes and
Schoolhouse Rock.
dark side. But yeah, I don't know. So my whole thing is that I really enjoyed, especially going back through this season with you two, because I know for Mike, you watched what, like 80, 84?
72
72, 73 times?
and a half.
12? We'll see.
3/4.
Carried it to. We're doing math again. No.
Not our forte.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. I
Common
was a
theme.
theater major. We're not doing this. No.
Yeah. We did have a whole episode that was like an entire curriculum that we went through in that episode when we talked with Craig. But yeah, I just like rewatching this. Like this was my first time rewatching. Like I maybe watched an episode here or two. Oh.
Heretofore.
Yeah, there you go.
Heretofore whence.
Nice. But yeah, rewatching it, like when you rewatch anything, whether it's like a movie or a TV show, you definitely notice more on a rewatch or something than you do like on that first initial watch, because that first initial watch or something, you're just kind of taking in like the newness of it all, I guess, at that point. But then like with any subsequent rewatch of whatever it may be, you're getting a little bit more like granular and like what you're noticing at that point, which really helps with this show too, when we've talked about it, where there's a joke, and then the next line, that's a joke, and then the next line is a joke.
A lot of tags.
Yeah, lots of tags. And then just like how the themes of the show can hit you differently at different points of your life watching it. just from like different life experiences that you're having. But or like
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of what like my whole kind of thought process is with as we hit the end of the rewatch, and they're like, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean that's partly why I like to, if I'm reviewing something or talking about it, watch it like at least twice as best I can, because the first time it's like you're gonna miss a bunch, and then the second time, the stuff that hits you unexpectedly, you kind of know, so then you can catch those little things that are there when you are normally chuckling or just taking in something at the moment.
Yeah,
so it's always nice.
And I know for me too, like the other things that I noticed like in this season where I was really grateful for like how panic attacks were handled, at least within the season. And it's kind of
Yeah,
like
I remember
knowing,
I always thought those started season 2. I forgot that they hit it pretty quick.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Same.
interesting. Yeah, like how we like when even like when we did that like the pilot, how we were noticing like they had already done that kind of like sound mixing there too in that first episode to already do like the audio cue,
the Lost effect.
Yeah, so it's interesting to realize how early some of this stuff was like layered and peppered in that we might not have necessarily noticed because we didn't know it was something that we should be paying attention to yet at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But that's definitely been something that I've been appreciating of like noticing like oh wow they set this up like way back here at that, and then like it'll eventually like we have that whole call forward thing where
I've always wondered in these situations too, how much of it is okay, we have 3 seasons, let's start this now, versus okay, we got to do more now, let's go back and okay, tag off of this and tag off of that. Just that process always curious to me, and I'd like to know more of that process, because like we can a lot. It's funny, like I think of like Star Wars and stuff specifically. Someone like George Lucas was asked, "Why'd you do this?" I don't know.
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
And then like everyone else is like, "Oh, he's did all that," and he's just like, "I just did it," which he could be playing it down, but just curious is all.
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Sometimes.
Got to tell that to
or
some people.
you say it like this.
All I could think of is Adam going 7.
Or you do some slam poetry, like in an extremely goofy movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
That one's due for a rewatch.
Heck yeah. But I don't know, and I know at least for me too. Like the other thing, this has kind of been like a thing that we've talked about, like from like me suggesting to Mike to watch Ted Lasso, and like the first text you sending me being like the thing about Ted and Rebecca, whereas now me rewatching it, I think I've actually like, I don't, maybe when we get to season 2 I'll change my mind again, but where I'm now more in the soulmate platonic friends camp of Ted and Rebecca than I had been before, because I had been kind of really in the like the whole Ted Becca thing, not to the point where like I know there's a certain section of the internet that's like really into like the Ted Becca stuff, and it got like really super upset about how the show ended certain things. Like it didn't happen. I was bummed about that, but I wasn't ready to like scorch the earth or anything because of
There's
that. Like,
certain
I was like, all right.
sections of the internet you just don't want to go to as well.
Yeah, that's for any fandom, whether it be Ted Lasso or Star Wars or whatever else it may be. But yeah, I think I've just with watching this season through and kind of seeing as far as like Rebecca's overall arc, with her being a kind of like that main focus we talked about, like how each season kind of starts, even though this one literally starts on a ball sack, but then it goes to her face. not, and never the twain shall meet. But and how the season ends on that shot of her face after Ted has
all over it.
Spat like all the fizzy water all over her face. But
Is
I
that
think
what they're calling it?
I mean,
Oops.
it's not that certain
As
kind
she
of
drinks fizzy water.
yeah, it's not that genre of music from Star Wars. But
Gotta get Adam in here. He is the master. He must regret saying that.
Oh, he does. It's becoming a running joke with his friends now, and it's just it will never die. Who are you dating? That guy. Yeah.
And now
it's
I'm
great.
frozen.
No.
Super duper.
Start singing "Let It Go."
Just like Rebecca, just let it go. Or you can just be like, this will be fine. This will be edited out. I'll just be like, Mike can be like.
I'm still here.
Like Roy.
He's like a ghost.
He's
Mike,
like
are you still with us?
I'm making pottery.
He's the TSA from.
Somebody, Alexa, play the Righteous Brothers. Wait, does that make me Demi Moore? Finally. That's all I've ever wanted.
As long as you're not in front of a roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Or putting anybody in a corner.
Nope,
or other Patrick Swayze movies.
Like The Outsiders.
As long as you're not pointing and breaking things.
God, I forgot what we were saying.
The
Oh, I
ghost
remember.
reference really threw you off.
It did. Well, listen, it's spooky. I like spooky things. No. I remember the fizzy water.
Oh yeah. You just went whoopee, just like
Whoopee.
Ghost.
Mm-hmm. You in danger, girl.
Speaking of danger, girl, there he is.
That's right. Fizzy water all over myself.
So what you're. All right.
That's what we're calling it now.
That's what we're going with. Okay. This feels like a weird segue because, like, what I've been trying to get at here was that I've really appreciated the platonic friendship that I've seen building between Ted and Rebecca in this season, and like the closeness that they've kind of had, like with that arc that she's had from the beginning of the season to like essentially using him as like a pawn to trying to ruin another person's life, but then realizing that she could end up ruining this dude's life and like ends up, like really connecting with him like on a human to human like level with, like helping him with like his panic attacks. Like she is the one that like seemingly notices that he's having that and goes out to help him with it. He's the only one that like, asks her how she's doing like with her divorce.
That's one thing I wish they did a quick shot of, or maybe they did and they cut it out, was when she noticed, like the moment that we see her realize that's what's happening, because she's just singing along and then we cut to the panic attack and then they're outside and she's like, "You're having a panic attack."
The only thing I can think of there is they wanted to keep the editing within Ted's point of view to keep you feeling like you're in that like headspace with him at the same time. And if they had
right, I'm sure like
the shot to her,
I'm assuming they had the shot and then I guess it doesn't work and they cut it. But
yeah,
I would have liked to see it. God damn it.
Well, maybe on the Blu-ray that comes out at the end of July, it'll have deleted scenes in there, and that's where you'll get to see it.
One could only hope.
He didn't.
Like, we have a request for this specific thing for our friend Mike. Yep. We need this. Yeah, I would do that and be like, yeah, all right, let's let this guy see
Warner Brothers.
Please put this on the Blu-ray.
Dear Warner Brothers, please put this on the Blu-ray. Otherwise, we'll have to keep hearing Mike complaining about it. Thank you. XOXO, Bonnie and Mark.
Yeah. I mean, our podcast name's already on the cover of the Blu-ray.
Really, they should be paying us.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like we took it from them first, right?
I mean...
Did they copyright it?
Who's to say?
We trademark it.
It's probably uncopyrightable because it's just a name.
Yeah,
You can't really copyright a name.
it's true. Yeah. All that to be said is that I appreciated the strong platonic male female friendship on there because of the friendship that I've now made with you, Bonnie. Because I've never had a very close platonic female friend really before, so I was connecting with like that whole platonic friend thing on there too. So I appreciated like seeing that displayed within the show now. So
Everybody needs a blonde bad bitch as a friend, so I'm happy to be that for you.
nice.
What did we say? Boss bitch in the Patreon?
Yeah, boss ass bitch.
Blonde boss ass bitch. That's my new vocal warm up, just to try to get that out. Blah, blah, blah. I swear I talk for a living. But yeah, I think that was cool because not everybody who has a male female dynamic relationship in a piece of media has to be, you know, banging behind the scenes. Like they can just be friends. And that's why I was never, that for many other reasons, why I was never team Ted Becca. Just don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't like it.
What say you, Mike? Are you still on the wavelength of the text that you sent me all those months ago, or have you switched?
Probably a year ago.
I don't know. Time is.
I understand why they didn't do it, and I'm okay with it. Part of me still wishes it did happen because that's what sitcoms were. That's what you're grown to expect. But I'm okay with their friendship. I'm not okay with how the series ended, if it is ended. So that's what I'm more upset about than anything.
We'll get there. We will get there. We're at the end of season 1, not
and the
end.
guy she does end up with, I'm just like, yeah, you can pound salt.
Is that what we're calling it?
Call it whatever you want. It's a bad choice.
Just don't call
Well,
it.
think about how weird it would be for them if they ended up doing that. That could ruin the chemistry. Like, I don't want to ruin our friendship, but like it might, you know?
She should have ended up with Beard.
Just throw everybody off.
Yep.
I mean, that would have been better than Jane.
So we think.
But I don't know. Yeah, I mean that was one of the things, at least by the end of this season, that I took away, especially, was like that whole friendship with them, and I like there's how, like, I don't know, it's trying to put it into words, is the, like, how well Hannah Waddingham is able to, like, I think, I don't remember which one of you said it, but like how good Hannah Waddingham is at face acting. It's just like, just like she's like
hand
just,
modeling.
Yeah, just
some
just
people are
not,
really good at face acting, and it's hard on camera. She's great at face acting. In the close-ups, she knows where that
I
camera
agree.
is. She knows
we
what she's doing.
We don't need David Duchovny in here with his hand modeling.
No, I know that hand. It was in the fall 1973 Boulevard Watch catalog.
Listen, don't you speak ill about David Duchovny. I love that man.
But you have to put it like on one, and like put like that chamber around his hand too, to make sure that it like doesn't age.
That, yeah, well, we don't have time to get into the X-Files with the leads getting together. That'll be a story for another time.
That can be a whole Patreon episode about should these male and female characters that were the leads of their series had ended up together, yes or no?
I like that. We should do that. That'd be fun because there's so many to choose from. There's times where it works and times where it doesn't.
We could call it the Ted Becca case files or something like that. I don't know.
Ooh, the Ted Becca files. Yeah.
To do or not to do?
Put that on the to-do list.
That
is the question.
to bang or not to bang, yeah.
You have to go with Mike's text.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, you said you've been on that same stance, Bonnie. Mike said that you're saying that you're okay with it. You're not really sure if you've been swayed one way or the other.
Would I have been mad if it happened? No. Am I mad that it didn't happen? No. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. And for both of them in this season, I think they both helped one another in their overall character arcs for that season. Like her kind of going from bitter and willing to take it out on anyone to starting to more or less be her old self again, but still trying to find it. And then with Ted kind of getting a clarity himself in his own status of like his marriage with Michelle and taking the steps he does there, even though it was hard for him to do that. I just liked how they were able to help each other in that way, even if they might not have known they were helping one another to, I guess, do that. I just think that was kind of cool.
Do it.
Yeah. So at least for, those are the two of them. I have two other people for like character MVPs for the season, but like them, I would definitely have like within that list for this season. What do you guys think?
For MVP?
Like I'm not like one singular, just like there can be for in this case in Airbud rules there are no real rules that there's not simply stated.
Airbud.
Correct. So yeah, there could be multiple MVPs for this season. There could be 84. There's not 84 people on the show. I mean, there is if your background too, but you know what I mean. Like
Roy and Rebecca.
Nice.
My R&R, some rest and relaxation, some Roy and Rebecca.
Nice.
It's like that's what R&R stands for, right?
Yeah.
I know what DNR is, but that's different.
DNR.
Do not Roy suscitate.
Dinner.
Oh. Dinner and raspberries. Dinner and rapscallions.
Nice. Dalmatians and I don't know, but
really cute puppies.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. But yeah, you've
damn camera.
It's too hot for that camera. It's too hot to handle. It is. I know for you, Bonnie, like with this season that you've been kind of talking about like how you didn't see it at first with Roy, like what everyone was kind of seeing with Roy, but then like from where we started to now where we are with Roy and like how just like how you've appreciated his arc from the
100%. And I just realized I love characters that are really tough on the outside, but they're kind of softies on the inside. Raphael is my favorite Ninja Turtle, so it makes sense that I have a deeper appreciation for Roy Kent. But I think because I missed a lot of things the first time around, I actually have to sit and watch and be present for this rewatch, and I'm picking up more things. And I remember, and this is obviously no offense to Brett Goldstein in any way, but one of my friends and I, we have a running joke where we have two totally different types, and we'll watch a TV show and we will not think that the other one's is hot. We're just like, oh no, that one doesn't do it for me. And it's with every show we have because we have radically different types. And this is the only time though where I'm like, okay, no, I might fight you on this one. Like, I think this is the only time where I'm like, oh, okay. Like he's really grown on me. And I understand now the personality. It's one of those like, nah, he got hot. And I've paid attention now and I totally get it. And I'm like, he can get it too. But yeah. Not that he wasn't before. I just didn't appreciate it like I do now. But yeah, I love his character arc. And it's that, and I think I wrote something about that in the notes, but people aren't always what they seem like they are on the show. People underestimate Ted, and he even talked about that. Yeah. You even have what's going on with Rebecca if you didn't know what she was going through. It's just there's so much more depth to these characters than other people let on. Like we don't, and as much as we were talking about this at the panel with Jamie's character arc and his growth, there's reasons why he is the way that he is. And Keely is so much more than she's given credit for, and we see that growth. And it's just all the characters have so much more than what they might appear to be on the surface. And I think that's a beautiful thing with this show. And there's so much more to Roy than just this gruff exterior. There's reasons, and he's a little softy, a little marshmallow on the inside, and I love him.
Yeah.
He's an M&M.
Melts in your mouth, not in your. Wait,
He might.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I was gonna like. We'll have to ask Keely.
I mean, he might fizz all over the place.
It doesn't fizz all over the place. It doesn't belong in your face.
There was an F at the beginning of that word. There was an F.
Fizz.
Fizz. Man.
Anyways.
The J is silent.
God, you guys are so
Silent
hungry.
I thought Bob was silent, not Jay.
That's a couple's costume I want to do. I just have to put on a beanie. Get Adam a mullet wig.
I think you got to do it the other way around, just because to destroy expectations.
No, I want to live up to the expectations now. He just gets to be quiet and introverted, and I just get to swear. It'll be great.
So
swear and
why do you need costumes for that?
Because then it's more socially acceptable. Not that we need that, but if I want to go out in public. Oh no, it's LA. There's weirder stuff. Never mind. Yeah. Cool. Next Tuesday. That's it.
Next Tuesday.
If you want even weirder stuff out in public, just go to New York City. So there you go.
Vegas.
I think LA wins.
Oh, Vegas? Yeah, maybe Vegas.
Ooh. Okay, we'll have a weird off. If you guys are listening, tell us what's the weirdest thing you've ever seen and where you saw it. Was it in Vegas, LA, or New York?
Tell us in the comments.
I want to see weird things in New York, so I guess that's where I've seen it.
Okay.
Yeah. Haven't been to Vegas or LA. So.
Come to LA and see me.
I've never been to Vegas.
In due time.
But yeah, speaking of Roy too, is that I really appreciate that within the season too, how you can watch that. His is definitely the most like kind of defined. Like he starts at this one spot of like how he's receiving all of Ted's, like
he's the grizzled old man.
Yeah, and then like where he starts from there, and like it's even before the end of the season. I don't remember which episode it was now, but like the one that has like the credits, like just credits over like footage, and then him like walking to the belief sign at the end and just like tapping it, and you kind of see that like he's fully embraced and bought into it. But yeah, like really like him starting at like I didn't know I was gonna end my career with Ronald fucking McDonald to like
howdy y'all.
Like fully like in like Ted's like corner by the season finale and everything. Like it's like this is why it's tough to love you. Oh, he said he loved you. So I mean, and he still has way more room to grow. We talked a little bit about that at the panel too, and that's why I thought I don't remember what I said for my answer. I think I said it was Roy. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I have to go back and watch that and listen to it.
Talking about the question that we were asked. Okay.
Yeah, like a lot's happened since then. But I don't know.
It's only been 3 weeks. What could have happened?
So many things. A lot of things can happen in 3 weeks. But I don't know. And then
it's a Ted Lasso timeline. We just don't know where time is in this show.
Yeah, sometimes it's a
montage. Sometimes it's.
If anything,
sometimes
you
they played 12 games.
From a beginner to a pro, it takes a montage. Even
Push
Rocky had a montage.
That's dancing.
Nice. And yeah, like after this too, this season, I think 10 Lines is still my favorite episode from this season. Do you guys have a favorite episode yet? Or is it still, at least for this season, or is it still kind of a amalgamation of a ball of episodes within your mind?
Ball sack of episodes, yeah.
Right.
Nice.
Going with that.
Nice.
Gotta have 2 balls in the sack, so it makes sense.
A fizzy ball sack in the mind. Oh man, that's gonna be in the show notes. Anyway.
Yeah, it is. I don't have a favorite. I think there have been some really good episodes, and I think overall, really good episodes. I think there are some that stand out a little bit more than the others for sure. And it depends on what are we going through in our current life that resonates more with them.
Yep.
And that can change, which is why art is great because it's subjective. And I think I went on a rant about that, but overall, I think it's a really strong first season. It knows what it's doing, and there's really good episodes and really great moments that you go, oh, this is why people love this show. Oh, this is why they love this character. And I think it's just really good writing.
Yeah, I think Tan Lines is the episode they decided to go on the path they went with the show. Like it was, I think that was the subject matter was one where like they could have done it differently. And they're like, well, let's buck the trend and go this way. And that's what.
Yeah, because I mean, that episode
point.
Definitely gives you kind of more an identity of like what the show is going to be. Where, and we kind of talked about this with Kenny when he was on for that episode, where it's like
lead instigator.
Yeah. Where like the show could have taken like an easy way like out for that episode and like done some kind of jokey thing with it and made it, like
had him being all irate and like vindictive and
or like
over the
making
top Wile E. Coyote stuff,
or like making like Michelle like a clear like villain like for like the whole reason like that happened. But like in the case of like what they did in the show, they made it a lot like just more real to a thing where it wasn't any one particular person's fault. It was just like a thing where like it took him longer to come to terms with it than it did for Michelle. But then when he, by giving the like, I don't remember but Nate gives like that exact like mile distance amount of space that he's like, you gave her like 3,200 blah 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 whatever miles. He's like wow. He's like, yeah, my dad was a cartographer. But
which speaking, who's a cartographer these days?
Nate's dad.
Hasn't everything been discovered?
Google Maps.
Yeah, Nate's dad's just driving around. Nate's dad's just driving around a Google Maps car or Apple Maps car.
That's a fake. No, that's a cover. It's a front for something else. I'm convinced.
Just like birds. Birds are also
birds.
fake.
Everything's fake. News, birds.
That background behind you, that's not, we're all actually in the same room.
Yep.
Spoiler alert, everybody.
That's how the sausage gets made.
Not going to touch the joke there. But yeah, I appreciated that episode too. And that was one of the things like I took overall from like that season 2, because like between like Rebecca, like she's like a year into like her and Rupert's divorce that they went through, and theirs was much different than like Ted's and Michelle's is going to be, because like freaking Rupert's a jackass and a half, whereas like Ted's just like a kind human being. So there's like and it's kind of showing like the differences there, but how like the one line that like Ted said in particular like in the season that stuck out was the divorce is hard. It doesn't matter if you're the one leaving or if you're the one who got left. It makes folks do crazy things. And that was in the episode 9, the All Apologies episode. But and that's like right after Rebecca, tells him what she's been doing this whole major league plot, this whole season. So
the whole fucking thing.
So it's, and I like how quickly he forgives her there, because he knows like from a certain point of view like what she's going through, and like empathizes with her. And that's, it doesn't seem like he would be vindictive or like hold a grudge about stuff like that anyways, at least from what we know of Ted.
We need like a Bizarro episode where you see Ted just be mean. Like he just goes to like a rage room and lets it all out.
Just a full Led Tasso episode.
Yeah,
I think we all
So-
need that. I would love one of
exactly.
those.
You kind
Especially
of get
after
it
this
when
last weekend.
he's going after Jamie in that scene. Where he's,
Yeah.
So it's instead of Beard After Hours, it's Led Tasso After Hours.
that's right.
That'll be the first episode of season 4. Led Tasso After Hours.
That's my equivalent of just yelling Bonnie Smash when I'm really mad. And just warns anybody around me like, oh, she's mad.
It's true.
Mhm.
Mike, I know that you had some thoughts about
I got thoughts.
Rebecca. Well, like with
Not
Rebecca,
good.
with Rebecca's confession to Ted about like basically like the overarching.
Oh, yeah.
Scheme that
My
she had.
writer brain was like, that should have been the end. Like,
Mm.
For season 1.
that should have been the cliffhanger episode. Because we didn't really get a cliffhanger. We got a upswing episode. Like, it's all going to be okay. You're coming back. We're going to do more. Which, again, is where they bucked trends. That's why my brain was like, that should have been like, I did this, end. And then you're like, okay, how's Ted going to react? And then comes back and he just goes, oh, it's okay. And everyone's like, oh, shit.
Mm.
Half-hearted
Yeah.
mislead. No, she goes on a journey this season. That's for sure. Rebecca, Hannah's there.
Yeah.
She does a complete 180 from where we were introduced to her. Like I'd say she's the MVP for me. Roy's a close second, but he kind of regresses next. He doesn't go a full 180 for me. He kind of regresses from where we see him last.
Oh yeah, which is human.
That's why I said Jamie had a bigger growth than Roy.
Yeah.
Because Roy was his mentor, and that was my answer to that question at the panel.
Mm.
Nice. Now, like I know, like another thing that like I liked in the season 2 is how it starts to show like
Absolutely not.
Is there a clown honking a horn somewhere?
Somebody's got something outside that's honking, and I absolutely not.
is Pennywise out there.
I will kill him.
Can I help
won't-
you? Because I dislike clowns very much.
Yes. You can hold
Right.
him down while I beat him.
Right.
Cool. You were all in the same room, so you should be right here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
Sorry, I didn't know you guys could hear that. That's fun. It's not like audio is my job or anything. It's fine. It's fine.
Sound like a
It's
clown
fun.
horn. We're all
It
having
reminds
fun.
me of a dirty joke that we should put in the Patreon. Do you want to do a timestamp so you can take it out?
40 minutes and 25 seconds.
You act like I'm going to remember this when I'm editing it. For those who don't
minutes.
believe us from about 10 minutes ago, I actually did send this message to Mark. We're not just making it up.
Oh, yep, there it is. Right there. So when are Lasso and Rebecca gonna bang? It's
That was
right
the
there.
first message
There it
I
is.
said about it.
Mm-hmm. There it is.
Yep.
It's not that much of a joke, but I do like doing the clown noise for like you can make a kid laugh and you can squeeze their nose and go, "Eh," and they're like, oh, they didn't know their nose could do that. It's fun.
Nice.
I don't tell
Like
those
that-
two jokes together. I don't do those two things in succession because that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
Anyways,
Well,
I think
either the
Mike and I
clown
need to
is
change our
very
whole little opening
talented
joke
or-
for tonight, huh?
the person is not well endowed.
could be both. That goes in the Patreon. You're welcome.
Our holdo joke is in the same vein as that.
Yeah.
You want to bring up veins? All right. Let's move ahead. Away.
Moving
From-
ahead.
Yeah.
Should have said forward.
Forward.
I'm trying to think of words that can't be misconstrued into like a different phrase.
Oh, good luck with that. I'm good at this.
Oh man.
Sticky
So-
situation right here.
Goddamn. Anyways.
Yep.
So one of the things too that I enjoyed a lot about the season too is seeing the sense of community Ted starts trying to build like right away with the team, like from the the box that Nate makes for everybody to put the their concerns or whatever in. So from the
He didn't
tiniest
make it.
things of,
These
oh yeah, him and his niece made it together. To because it's just like these little things about like fixing like the water pressure in the shower, or getting better like crisps for like snacks or stuff like that, to like giving the books to each of the players that kind of fit their personality and whatnot there.
Well, is it fitting their personality, or was it this is what you need to do to grow from where you currently are?
Yeah, like where it's like something to to help to teach them. We're like, I don't remember which episode it was to you, but where we kind of saw that like Ted's mentality of like coaching is like similar to like his mentality to being a dad to Henry, like just kind of like teaching the stuff to the players and kind of hoping that they take it away with them.
The second to last one, I think.
Yeah. And yeah, like basically teach them what they need to know, and then hoping that they use it when they need to at that point. So, and then that community continues to build through the next few seasons, and I think that's a good thing to have in here too, just because it shows like about like having. It doesn't necessarily have to be just like the entire team. There's like the Diamond Dogs within the season is like a good kind of another community, but also like people, like trusted people that you can talk with and discuss like topics with openly, to kind of like people that have your back or will be honest with you about things that you're going through, or give you like honest advice. So it's like how it shows like these kind of different ways that you can form communities or like support systems with
the Knights of Support.
The proud
Ted Lasso's
boys,
personal dilemma squad.
Get some satin jackets made. But I don't know, because especially like us doing this now too, I've kind of like I said it in our Diamond Dogs episode, where like I feel like this is like our own kind of little community support system, Diamond Dogs too. Like we have a Richmond Way like text group, and like
Group chat.
Where we like share stuff, we help people out, lift one another up, and like when one of us is having a tough day, try to help the other person out. So it's like, I mean, I think all of us were kind of like that before Ted Lasso came out, but I like that the show has made that something, I guess, something cool for people to want to try to strive to now, to actually, like to strive to be kind to other people. That
strive to be kind.
That seems,
rock.
I was gonna say that seems like a dare like slogan from the 90s. Strive to be kind, kids. Only you can put a stop to.
Here's all the drugs. Here's what they look like. Don't do them. But this is what they look like.
You don't want none of this shit. Does it make you have a good time? Yes. You'll love it. But does it make you rich? But I don't know. Those are my thoughts about it. What do you guys think?
Thoughts mostly.
Thoughts? Yeah.
It's just generally what I think.
Musings. I think, yeah, going off of piggybacking off of that a little bit, it's having that we have our group just like there's a team on the show, and they learn to become more of a team versus who's this, wanker coming in. And I think there's a big growth with their respect for him and the camaraderie, and it becomes more of a team and a group and a group chat like we have versus just this person. And I think that's really cool. And you should have, life is hard enough to do it on your own. So if you can't have people to go through it with you, then you're very blessed, for lack of a better word.
Agreed. And I know and it's outside of like Be a Goldfish or like many other things from the show. I think like the most quoted thing, and is usually like the most kind of shown scene to people, is that the whole darts scene from the Dime Dogs episode with the like the whole mentality of to be curious, not judgmental, which I think is just a good in general thing for people to take away with, is for like anything in life. Like if you're going through something, or if you're like dealing with someone, to first come at it from that viewpoint, to like stop for a second, think about like, this kind of goes with the like the whole other thing is like, no one knows what someone else is going through within their life. So instead of immediately being like, oh, F so and so for doing this and this, to kind of be curious about what their circumstances might be, what they might be going through, before you jump
then be judgmental.
Yeah. and then if it just turns out that they're just an asshole, then they're just an asshole, and they're just a filthy human piece of garbage that no one should associate themselves with. But
who are you talking about?
I don't know. But
he's not watching this show.
Yeah, but he doesn't even deserve to be brought up. Anyways, but I
can derail a conversation. Let me tell you.
Just as much as a body on a train rail.
Those don't derail trains.
It's the trolley problem. Anyways, I mean, I think that's the overarching.
I tell you.
That's the overarching theme, I think, of Ted Lasso, not just of season 1, but also season 2, season 3, and whatever else might become beyond that, is to be curious, not judgmental. And that's like what helps Nate's whole arc in the season 2, as we're kind of wrapping up here, is that like, Nate goes from like that meek kind of kitman, that no one ever remembered his name in there, to like him being surprised that Ted even remembers his name. And now we'll get there when we get to season 2. Like he might have latched onto that too much to a point where, but just where like how he went, and he's built all of his confidence because somebody believed in him, and gave him like a platform to be able to build himself up a little bit. But
but that's because that's what Ted does, is he brings people up even though he doesn't do it to himself. And that's like an overarching theme of the show, is everyone's growing, everyone's expanding. That doesn't seem to.
That's true. It's true. And I think, unless anybody else has anything that we didn't get to, I think that's a good spot to. But
end on a down note. Hooray.
I'm waiting to hear something. Just waiting for Roy to. I mean, well, I figured with the wrap up, we owed Bonnie not scaring her this time. Wait, okay, well, not that one, but I guess that.
Okay, if I get scared, Mike's just gonna wait until me. Bye.
Oh man,
you ruined it.
Metaphor, you know it, baby.
Anyway,
every soundbite.
Whistle!
I was ready for it. I was ready.
Marc ruined it.
Sitting in here, you're supposed to be the franchise player. And yet here we are talking about you missing practice.
Not a game.
We're talking about practice. You understand me? Practice.
We don't need this.
Not a game.
Oh, not a game. Talking about Capital One. I'm not talking about practice. I'm talking about Capital One credit card. Anyways, that's enough of Kevin Hart. So I think that'll do it for the Richmond Way this week. Where can people...
Series over. Bye.
No. Where can people find you online, Bonnie?
You can find me at vosuperhero.com. That's VO as in voiceover, not BO as in body odor.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks.
Nice. Nobody likes body odor.
No.
Someone might. You don't know.
Someone might, but not
No.
here.
I'm not going to kink shame. If you like body odor, that's your thing. You know what? we love all of our French listeners.
Just take down a whole country. I mean,
What's up, Chris? Anyways, you can find more episodes of Richmond
aren't
Way
you part
Pod.
French?
Maybe. Robert Surcouf, look him up. Anyways, richmondwaypod.com is where you can find more of our episodes. If you want special access to exclusive stuff that nobody else has access to, you can join our
It's usually
Patreon.
dirty, if you're wondering.
Some of it's clean though too. Richmond, so it's
Some of it.
patreon.com/the Richmond Way. There right now, depending on when this episode is out, it may be available to you. But we have our episode with Mary Roscoe up there, where Bonnie and I spoke with her, who was Julie Higgins. It was amazingly edited by one Mr. Michael Soren over here.
I wouldn't go that far.
Hey, be nice to my friend Mike.
Yeah, be nice to Mike.
But yeah, so that's up there, and then you can see Kenny and Bonnie get into it about Man of Steel. that's one of the other ones on there.
Mhm.
Lead instigator.
Bonnie
I will do a
will fight
rematch
you.
any day. Yeah.
And then there's some other like random clips on there about mostly dirty jokes that only are good
The
for
real
Patreon.
stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Only
I think,
Teds.
yeah, only Teds, only beards,
Only.
I think only beards might be a real thing.
I was gonna say, it
Only
probably
biscuits?
is a real thing.
yeah,
That's something somewhere.
only biscuits. Anyways, thank you guys all for
Fizz
joining
yourself.
us for season 1 of the Richmond Ways rewatch of season 1. We'll be back shortly, starting season 2. That one,
Like 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
yeah, I mean, time's relative. Maybe when you're watching this, that episode's already out, and maybe it's not. Maybe you have to wait 2 weeks if you're on top of this when we release each of these. But we hope to have some special guest hosts line up for that season, so stay tuned with
Some
us.
ghosts.
But they just need to believe in themselves. I mean, we can't fight them all, but thanks everybody.
We aren't afraid.
Bye.
So until next time, folks, be curious, not judgmental, and keep rewatching. This is Ted Lasso signing off. As the man once said, the harder you work, the luckier you get.